Tommy boy, season 2, episode 6. We're gonna do some internet phenomenon dish here. I was told on Instagram that there's this feta and tomato dish, baked dish, that was a phenomenal dip. So I did put something together last week. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to do that. I'm gonna take it up a notch, and I'm gonna show you how to do it with other vegetables as well. So what's really cool about this dish is for now, what I have is I have tomatoes, I've got orange poppers, and I've got cherry tomatoes. All right, that's going to be for one dip. For the other dip, I've got some red bell peppers and jalapenos in here, and mushrooms. We're just gonna layer some onion in there, a little bit of garlic, and finish it off with some seasoning and a little bit of chives. But once we get started on this thing, it's pretty simple. You basically put this together really quick, throw it in the oven for about 8 to 12 minutes. When that 8 to 12 minutes is up, these tomatoes would have popped. The mushrooms and the peppers would have cooked down a little bit, and then I'll add the cheese. We'll pop it back in there, let the cheese melt through, mix it up, and we're going to taste it and see how we did. All right, Tommy, let's start off with this tomato dip, okay? First, I'm going to just lightly cover the bottom of this bowl with a little olive oil, and I'm going to put a little seasoning in there just in case, okay? Then I'm going to throw the tomatoes in here. Not overly difficult so far, right? A little bit more olive oil, okay? A little bit more seasoning. All right. Put in a little pepper. Usually I grind my pepper, but my grinder is acting up on me a little bit. That's it. I'm going to pop them in the oven for about 8 minutes until they start to pop. They're going to roast a little bit. The juices are going to come out. We're going to get all sorts of flavor out of that. Then we're going to add the garlic and onion and let them go a few more minutes. Then we're going to add the cheese. Okay, here we go. All right, Tommy, now I'm going to do the twist. Okay, I'm going to do a little mushroom, the peppers, and jalapenos. But listen, you can use eggplant, you can use squash, you can use just about any vegetable you want, as long as it's roastable. And you can put meat in here too. You know, if you wanted to use some sausage or something like that, anything would go well with this cheese dish. Excuse me. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Okay, we're gonna start off with the oil. Okay, again, a little oil. I'm gonna season the bottom a little bit. Okay, now this one's gonna be a little tricky for me. I'm gonna try to do halvesies here and see if I can make this work. All right, so we got the mushrooms on one half, and they have a little heavy on the mushrooms. All right, and then we're gonna do the peppers, red bell peppers and jalapeno on the other half. Okay, it's okay if they mix a little bit, but you get the gist of what I'm doing here. All right, a little more olive oil over the top. Oh, look at that color, right? A little bit more seasoning here, a little garlic salt, that's all I have. Okay, and then we're gonna go with the pepper. That's it. All right, we're gonna throw this in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. We're gonna come back, we're gonna throw in a little garlic, a little onion in there, top it with the cheese, finish this up. All right, Tommy, let's pull these bad boys out and see what we got going on, okay? Oh, look at these tomatoes. Get a shot of that. Look at that, all that flavor bursting in there. And then we don't have the same juices coming out of the peppers and the mushrooms, but we're gonna get tons of flavor out of that. So I'm going to leave the oven on 375 right now. All I'm going to do, okay, all I want to do right now is add a little bit more flavor. So I've got some onions going in here, all right? And I've got some garlic going in here. I'll put onions and garlic on both sides, all right? That's probably good here. And of course, who doesn't love garlic? Don't worry about that, that's the oven. All right, so we've got some good amounts of garlic going in here. I'm just going to throw these back in there for a couple minutes, okay? Remember, these dishes are hot. Trust me. All right, I've done it enough. We're going to throw them back in here for 1 or 2 minutes. Probably more like 2 or 3. And then I'm going to add the cheese, and we're going to finish this dish off, okay? We'll see you in 2 or 3 minutes. It's been 2 or 3 minutes, so let's see what we got. I'm just going to leave this little toaster oven on here. Oh, yeah, look at that. Wow, you can just smell that onion and garlic in there with the tomatoes, okay? So look it. We're just doing this in layers, okay? Let me pull the mushroom and peppers out. And now, remember these dishes are hot. We're just going to add, supposedly, the start of the dish. Okay, so we're just going to, this is all going to melt down and in. So it doesn't have to be spread perfectly, because I'm going to pull it out maybe in another 3 or 4 minutes and just start to stir it up a little bit, right? And mix that cheese in with the tomato, and then over here we're going to mix the cheese in with the peppers and the mushrooms. Oh, you know what? Let's kill this bit. Okay. Then I'm going to add the silkier cheese, okay? Mascarpone's got a little bit of sweetness and creaminess to it that maybe takes the edge off that feta a little bit, okay? I like feta. There's different types of feta that you can get out on the market. Some of them are a little brinier, where they have that little pop to them. And if you mix it with another cheese, you can use ricotta, mascarpone, any type of creamy cheese like that. It'll settle it down just a little bit. And you know, it gives it a really, really silky, smooth texture, and the flavor is fantastic. So that's all I'm going to put on. That's all I think I need. All right, we're going to throw these back in here, let the cheese melt, and then we're going to finish these up. Okay. And again, these can go anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes, right in that ballpark, and you've got a great little snack. I've got a French baguette over here I'm going to cut up. I've got some rice crackers over here we're going to dip into it. Whatever floats your boat. It's been about 5 minutes. So look, you can see that cheese is starting to melt a little bit. So I'm just going to stir it in here, okay? So we'll put that one there. It doesn't quite have the juices from the tomatoes. Let's stir it in. Yeah. That's the mixture we're looking for right there. And then I can put this back in and let this go until it starts to char on the top a little bit. Or I can pull it out, you know, in another couple minutes when it looks like this. It really just depends. I mix these peppers and mushrooms together. I probably shouldn't have did that, but you know what? It looks pretty good that way. So sometimes it's like, you know, a Reese's cup. Right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to stick these back in for another couple minutes, and then I'm going to cut up that baguette. We're going to have a couple crackers, and we're going to taste these suckers. All right, Tommy boy, I just shut down the oven. Come on over here. Let's see what we got. And get your eyes off that. Come on over here and take a look at this. We're going to stir this up with that tomatoes. We're going to let these cool. And then I've got some cut up baguettes. I've got some crackers. I'm going to throw some chives over the top. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm just going to mix it a little bit first. It smells delicious. Yeah? Feeling it? Alright. Let's do that. Let's finish it up with a little chives. Alright? Give it some more color. We know what the hell we're doing. And I'll let this cool down a little bit, and we will taste away. Alright? See you in a minute. Alright, let's see how these bad boys turned out. What do you say? Let's start off with a cracker first. I want to be a little careful because I'm not sure how hot it is. And I know these tomatoes can hold some heat. That's good right there. Well, better not do that. Somebody's going to have to eat after me. That's good. It's got great tomato flavor to it. The cheese has got a nice little bite to it, but it's not crazy. It just, you can taste the feta, and you can actually taste how that mascarpone just tones it down a hair. Very, very good. It's probably gonna be delicious with the baguette. All right, let's do this one. So I got a little bit of mushroom and a little bit of pepper on here. Still pretty hot. It smells delicious. Wow. So that, oh, I got a little bit of jalapenos in there too. So that tastes really good as well. All right. But you can definitely tell the difference between that tomato flavor and the pepper and mushroom. So again, as I told you earlier, whatever floats your boat. If you want to use zucchini, if you want to use eggplant, tomatoes, peppers, whatever. This is a really good base for this type of dip. But that tomato dip, that was rocking. All right, Tommy, should we wrap it up?
Mm-hmm.
All right, episode 6 wrapped up. Peace out, brother love.